Yes. Yes.
We cannot
Even better.
relate.
Yes.
Right. We cannot relate.
No excuses.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। ISKCON founder Acharya His Divine Grace Prabhupada ki jai. So last class we finished verse number 1. Vacho bega mansa krodha bega, jiha bega utare pasta bega, etan vega yo visaheta dhera, sarvam api prithvim shashishya. So that verse talks about 6 urges of mind. What are that? Vacho, the urge of speech. Mansa, urge of mind. Krodh,
Just anger.
then Jivha, then Udar, belly, Upastha, genitals. 6 urges have to be controlled. And then we are going to see another verse, verse number 2, that's going to talk about 6 vices that need to be controlled. So these 2 verses are talking about Nisedha. What are the things we have to avoid? Okay, so first 6 items we spoke last class, and then we are going to see next 6 items or vices. Oh, Sadbhujanand Prabhu, welcome back. You are back now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Haribol. So you are coming from Vrindavan, you look fresh.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. We had a nice trip over there. Yeah.
Yeah, Haribol.
Haribol.
I see Manohar Prabhu also joining. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Nice to see Satya Prabhu and Bridget Vrindavan.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Bol Satya Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Sudan Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Vrinda Sundari Mataji, good to see you.
Good
Nice.
to see you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
So the Bridget Mataji's name is Brinda Sundari, huh?
Yes. Correct.
Brinda Sundari Devidasi.
I don't know how to change my name on the WhatsApp or Zoom. I don't know how to do that. Sorry.
I can do it. Do you want me to do it?
Sure. Yeah, that would be great.
VRINDA Sundari
Yes.
Devidasi.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
See now, how does it look?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Well, thank you. So we can have as much discussion as you want, and these are powerful verses, so we have to understand this. Okay, so today we are going to get into the second verse, and second verse goes like that. Who would like to read this? 6 verses, 6 vices to be avoided. So who would like to read the verse?
I will read it.
Okay.
Atyaharaga prayasascha
प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च सद्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. Translation: One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities.
Right. So this verse talks about 6 activities, 6 vices that must be avoided. So Mataji, read.
Atyaharah, eating too much or collecting more funds than necessary. Prayasas, over endeavoring for mundane things that are difficult. Prajalpo, unnecessary mundane talk. Niyamagraha, accepting scriptural rules only for immediate material benefit, neglecting scriptural rules and working whimsically. Janasangas, association with materialistic person not interested in bhakti. Laulyam cha, greed for mundane achievements. Sadbir bhakti vinashyati, by being entangled in the 6 activities, one's bhakti is spoiled.
Yeah. So I'll just go through this. Atyaharaha. So atyaharaha, it has 2 meaning. Ati aharaha. Ahar. Ati means too much. Ahara means food, eating. Or ati means too much. Aharaha means collecting. So atyaharaha means either eating too much or collecting too much. So when there is desire to eat too much or there is desire to collect too much, then one would like to do that, right? And in order for one to do that, one will endeavor for it. So over endeavor, prayasas, working very hard. For what? For obtaining the things which might not be Krishna conscious items. So prayasas, too much endeavor. And when they are trying to do too much endeavor, then there is a competition, right? I want to be on the top. And then people engage into prajalpo, talking mundane about talking the mundane subject or talking bad about others. Okay, so prayasas, when one is trying to do prayasas, then Prabhupada in the purport write newspaper, who is doing what, which stock exchange is doing pretty good, which one should I buy, which one should I sell. So this prajalpo is prominent with the mentality of trying to endeavor. And then Niyamagra, not accepting the rules. So Niyamagra also has 2 meaning. The one meaning is that not accepting the rules which are for a spiritual benefit, like 4 regulative principle are for our spiritual benefit. Associating with devotee, sadhu sangha is for our benefit. Reading Prabhupada's book is for our benefit. So Niyamagra has 2 meaning. The first one is that we accept things very easily which do not have a spiritual benefit, like rules and regulations of the material world that has transient benefit. And on the other hand, we neglect rules and regulations which have a spiritual benefit, or being too slow in accepting the fact, right? People do not have problem accepting Darwin laws of evolution, but they have very hard time believing Lord's creation. Very hard for them to believe. Oh, there is Lord. Oh, He created. And Krishna says, Mama Yansa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Very hard for them to believe, but very easy. They say that, yeah, we all were basically at some point, chimpanzees. And we evaluated over the time and became human being. So accepting certain rules which are just a concoction very easily. So we should not also accept something very easily. And if somebody is coming and giving us the science of Krishna consciousness, we should not be stubborn also. We should accept it easily, adopt it easily. So both not easily accepting certain things, certain rules and regulations which are for immediate benefit, and not delaying the acceptance of the rules and regulations which are good for our spiritual benefit. So it's very, very important that one do this niyamagraha. And then next item is Jan Shangas. Jan Shangas, Prabhupada translate, associating with those personalities who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. So if you read the purport of verse 2, Prabhupada is saying that Jan Sangas refer to associating with person who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, right? So unnecessarily associating with people and then getting their way of understanding certain thing can contaminate our understanding, and we would start thinking like them, like people who are too much attached to gambling. If you talk to them all the time, they will say how to gamble, where you can go, what are the places where you can go, and which type of game you should play. People who are engaged in intoxication, they know all the brand, which wine, which beer you should buy, the price and efficiency, all of the details they'll tell you, right? Meat eater or people who are eating everywhere, they would know what are the best places. People ask me, at my place, do you know any best Indian place? I said, if you want to come at my, at my house, I can grant it that I'll feed you authentic Indian food. But if you ask me which one is best place, I don't know, because I don't even know how many Indian places here. Honestly, there might be few. There is one right next to my house in Chesterfield. I heard it's very good, but again, I have no idea how good they are, right? So I would not be able to help many things related to gambling, intoxication, things like that, right? So we should try to avoid. Prabhupada in the purport especially talks about Mayavadi. He says that we should not be associating with personalities who are confused about who the God is, how the God looks like, what his business is, what he does, is there any God or not God, right? We all are God, we all will become God. Uh, that type of mindset has to be rejected. Now, if we don't associate, and that's the question that I have for all of you, if I don't associate with Jan Sanghas, then how I can preach, right? We are also trying to preach to the people who are not Krishna conscious, which means go to the personalities who are right now not in Krishna consciousness. And if you have to preach them, how we do it? What and how, if you don't associate with them, many times you would see people justify, devotees have been justifying that it's okay to do association of ordinary people if we are going there for preaching, right? So we'll talk about it a little bit, brainstorming. And then lolyam cha. Lolyam is greed. Too much greed. You know, lolyam is more than greed. Too much attached for mundane achievements. If we are too much attached for mundane thing, then never ever our mind is going to be calm and focused on the science of Krishna consciousness. Sad Bhaktir, Sad Bihir Bhaktir, Shad means six, Bihir, these different kinds of vices that has been shared, Bhaktir, devotional service, Vinashyati, wow, it spoils the devotional service. So Atihara Prayasascha Prajalpa Niyamagraha Jansangasya Lolamcha Sadbihir Bhaktir Vinashyati. These six vices destroy one's devotional service. So a person who are serious in devotional service should try to refrain from these things. And one of the things that I always meditate and I'm very, very sensible is the third item here. Because this prajalpa is very dangerous. And just not talk. That's all. No talking, keeping, if somebody is asking about somebody, just answer the question, but not too much, because we don't know, just our urge of mind that we enjoy, urge of our mind talking bad thing about personalities who are devotees of Supreme Lord. We should never do that, okay? Atyahara, I think eat Krishna Prasadam if you have intensity to it. Prayasas, engage in preaching Krishna consciousness, work hard for Krishna, get up in the morning, go to Mangalarti, work hard in the temple, cleaning, mopping, all that type of stuff. Do it. It's basically cleaning your heart. Easily accept, don't delay, easily accept the limbs of bhakti, anga of bhakti, and then unnecessarily not associate with ordinary people unless and until there is a strong reason behind it. So I would like to give a pause. I see Santa Mataji is raising hand. Mataji, what you have? Santa Mataji, are you trying to ask something? I see your hand is raised. Santa Mataji, are you asking something? Okay, maybe she cannot hear me. Can you all hear me, Prabhuj, Mataji?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji, we can.
Yes.
We can hear
Okay.
you, Prabhuji.
Then why Santa Mataji is not able to hear? I can see her, she is not really. Mataji, can you hear me? Okay, she is saying something. Okay,
She
able to
sent
hear.
in a
Say,
text.
okay. So her hand is raised. Not sure if she's asking something. Okay, so Mataji will ask. Anybody has anything that they would like to talk about this? So next we are going to take one of these item and go through it as Prabhupada has instructed through his purport. So that's what we are going to do. But anybody has anything before we get into next slide? So Prabhupada starts purport by giving these three types of energies. It's very, very important. I request you take the shot of this, remember this, and apply it. So there are three energies of the Supreme Lord. Antarang Shakti, it's called Chit Shakti, and Tatas Shakti, which is marginal, and then Bhairang Shakti, which is external energy. Chit Shakti also has Sandhini, Shamvit, and Haladini Shakti, so I'm not going to get into that, but we'll talk about, what is Shamvit, what is Sandhini Shakti, and what is Haladini. Shamvit is Gyan potency, Sandhini is Kriya potency, and Haladini is Anand potency, Srimati Radharani, very confidential subject. So, Lord has his Antaranga Shakti, and the entire spiritual world is functioning by his internal energy. Lord Balram, Srimati Radharani, all of them, gopis, all confidential Nitya Bhaktas, they are all part of the Antarang Shakti, and they are always devotees. Okay, so 3/4 of the creation is a spiritual world, and residents of those places are devotee. They are firm believer in Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then there is marginal potency of the Lord, which is like margin, like for example, if you are on the beach of a sea, you'll see that there is sea and then there is, land, right? So water is coming, going, coming, going. So some part is wet, not quite dry, not quite watery. It's just the wet. So it's like marginal, tatastha, it's like bank. So living beings are marginal potency. And when we say living beings are marginal potency, the importance is that their association is very, very important. Very, very important. They can be wet or they can be dry because they are the margin. So if they associate with devotee, they will develop devotional quality. And when they develop devotional quality, they are Mahatmas. But when they are associating with Jansanga, Jansangi, people who are not Krishna conscious, then he or she develops bad qualities. And they are Duratmas. So these Mahatmas are personalities who are devotee, practitioner of devotional service. They are not perfected. They are not perfected devotee. They are sadhaka. Okay, they are sadhaka, but they are also called as Mahatma. And Duratmas are the one who are very much busy in personal sense gratification, and they are engaged in preaching nationalism, humanitarianism, altruism, all this type of ism, Prabhupada writes, So they are, we have to be nationalist, we have to be this, we have to be that, all types of, bodily identity. They dwell on that, they reinforce that, they believe in that, they empower that. So they are Duratma. They are acting on the platform of body. Let's put it that way. And Mahatmas are the one who are at least making endeavor to act on the platform of soul. So these marginal potency, that is Shakti, they go through different types of suffering. So why we have to do atihara prayasa prajalpaniya mahagraha jansanga salalam sadibehir bhakti vinashati? Why we have to do that? Because we as a living being are marginal potency, and we have potential both to become a Mahatma, or we have a potential to become Duratma. We can be wet, we can be dry. We are on the beach. We are on the sea. Water can come, we make wet, we can make wet, water is gone. It's very nice. The marginal is very good word. Sometimes, if you are with a devotee, you are too wet, too devotional. As soon as association is taken out, you become dry, you come to your natural form, right? So this marginal word, I really like it. It's very nicely explained the condition or the position of the practitioner. Sometimes they'll feel like that, oh, too much bhakti I have done. Now I should go somewhere and do something for fun. Go somewhere just. So this marginal. So this marginal potency, since they have this tendency of being duratma, or they are not fully perfected devotee, they go through various type of suffering, and those sufferings are cause of Lord's external energy. We sometimes call it Maya, something which appears to be true but is not true. And then what are these type of klesa, we call it, right? Three types of suffering, klesa: adi, adi devika, adi bhautika, and adhyatmika. Okay, so adhyatmika klesa is adhyatma, coming from one's own mind, one's own intelligence, one's own thought process. Sometimes you will see somebody is too much fearful, so that person is feeling the suffering of being fearful. One would love going high, but another person will start crying, no, I'm very fearful of going high. Somebody loves getting into the water, somebody is very fearful of water. Somebody loves getting into the fire, somebody is very fearful of fire. So this adhyatma, this soul, this our own individual personality, somebody is thinking too much about something, somebody doesn't care about something. So this is all caused by one's own self. Oneself is also cause of suffering for one's existence. And then adi bhautika is coming from other living entity. Other living entity also can cause suffering in our life. Like somebody, you expect somebody to respect you, and that person doesn't respect you because that person thinks that you are not of their type. So that person can trigger some degree of pain to you. Perfect example is given that there are mosquitoes which are always looking for you know biting somebody. You do harm or no harm, it will come and bite you. So it's other living being causing suffering in your life. All the insects that we have around are very fearful. Tiger can swallow one, tiger can eat one, tiger can just swallow one. So all of these, oh, your internet connection is unstable. Please let me know if you have problem hearing me. So all of these are sufferings which are caused by other living entity. And then Adi Daivika. Daivik means, Daivika is divine. Suffering that is caused by nature, like thunderstorm, earthquake, right? Those type of suffering. So these Prabhupada is very nicely starting this purport by giving first understanding that if you become Lord's Antarang Shakti, part of his internal potency, then you are free from this suffering. But if you are not part of Lord Antaranga Shakti, then you are exposed to this type of suffering. Okay. So a person who is, why it's important for one to be bhakta? Because through devotional service, one awaken their original consciousness of who I am, who the Supreme Lord is, right? And then develop the pure, unalloyed love. Jiva Sarup Haya Nitera Krishna Das. Getting firmly situated in one's own identity. That is why one has to do bhakti. But if one is not doing bhakti, then one will be very much misled by Lord's Bhairang Shakti, and then not one life, life after life, life after life, life after life, one has to go through this suffering. So it says that in the initial stage of bhakti practice, the material proclivities are prominent in the sadhaka. They have desire to enjoy the material object. So they are unable to subdue six urges described in the first verse. Consequently, many other tendencies harmful to bhakti develop in the hearts of the sadhaka, and these are described in second verse. So if the first verse, if six urges are not followed, then many harmful tendencies will develop, and that will lead more distraction, more disturbance in one's personal life. So very nicely, these three energies of Lord is mentioned here, and I'm sure you all would know these three energies, and this Adhyatmika, Adibhuta, and Adidevik. I'm sure all of you are very familiar with it, but this course also is talking about it, so I just wanted to go through it. Any question before I move to next slide? Are you clear?
Yes.
Are we
Prabhuji,
good
Hari
so
Krishna.
far? Yes, Prabhu.
So I was just meditating on this, how these two verses are interrelated. So, and I was getting into the three potency, that's internal, external. So how these, I mean, potency is connecting to this particular text. I was trying to understand, Prabhuji. So first text was talking about what to avoid in terms of, you know, all the six urges, and then this another six things to avoid for the bhakti. Now, based on these six and six, how this Lord's energy or potency is coming into discussion. I'm trying to correlate.
Yeah, yeah,
I do not understand that
yeah, yeah.
connection.
Yes. So connection is that living beings who are extremely influenced by Lord Bhairang Shakti, they will have these tendencies. They will have tendency of eating too much. They will have tendency to over endeavor. They will have tendency to talk mundane thing like reading newspaper, seeing what's happening, material science, politics science, economical science, earth science, all of that, They would accept things which are easy for their material fulfillment. They would hear something about Darwin's and they will say yes, Darwin theory is correct, or Big Bang theory. They would buy the concept of that. They would seven laws of becoming leaders in the material world. All of that would be very easily, it will make more sense to them. Yes, I should not be hearing others. I should be making else hear me. And then they will associate with the people. They will go to Las Vegas and they will go to other places where these people are partying and drinking and smoking, and there they will try to do their business, make business friendship and all of that. So these energy terms are coming for the people who are indulged in these six urges and six vices. They are very much controlled by Lord's Bhairang Shakti, which means doesn't matter how rich you become Ambani or you become Adani or you become, uh, this, Microsoft guy, what is his name, Bill Gates and all of that, doesn't matter. This is very, very nicely creating a contrast. A person who are under these urges and vices, they are here. They are being hit by Adhyatmic. See, big rich man, they suicide, right, Prabhu? Right? Or they have so many enemy, so many, competition they have. They can't sleep in the night. So all of that is happening, right? Recently there was one story that one CNN guy, I forgot his name, he was in one of the Middle Eastern country and he suicide. I forgot his name. Very famous guy, very famous. He had so many people following him in US. He suicide. He just killed himself. So it doesn't matter how prominent, how big you become, you are controlled by Lord's Bhairang Shakti. So what it's basically doing is that it's asking us that, hey, you are here in the middle. The living beings are here in the middle. Okay, Prabhu? As a marginal potency. And you
Yeah.
have opportunity to go up or you can go down. If you go up, then you become part of Lord Antarang Shakti, internal potency. You get fully situated in your original form. You will be given all knowledge, Chit Shakti, Lord Chit Shakti, Lord Sandhani Shakti, Ananda Vyashat, all spiritual bliss will be felt by you. So on the spiritual path, you are enlightening yourself and getting higher and higher. But on the material path, you are going lower and lower. So by giving the three different types of energies of Supreme Lord, the intent is to make you understand that which one you choose. You choose not to do, you want to avoid these 12 items or you want to adopt it. Okay, if you want to avoid it, then it's very good for you, very good. But if you adopt it, then it's very bad. Okay, you want to basically go down. If you want to go down and you associate with Lord's Bhairanga Shakti, external energy, you can do that. But make sure that you are going to be exposed by these different types of klesa, which is Adhyatmic, Adivautik, and Adidevik. So this is in fact giving a very good way to understand and emphasize the importance of avoiding these 12 items. Let's see. Manohar Prabhu says, Nandi, what one? Oh, big purple. Okay. Your nails, which mean,
No, this was a lecture we were listening today morning.
yeah. Bhakti
So I
Prasanubhava
mean,
Bhakti. Yes. Right. Yes. So, one of the sign of advancement in bhakti is virakti from the things of the material world. We cannot have too much attachment for name, fame, power, glories, and still pretend that I'm becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness. It's not possible. Although, I have told this many times, although we practice Krishna consciousness in an institution under ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, but bhakti, the process of bhakti is very individual. The relationship one has with Krishna is very individual, and institution provides the environment to nourish that. provides the environment to develop that relationship. But ultimately, it's very personal. So one has to have control over these items to develop their relationship towards Krishna.
Prabhu, I had a question
Yeah,
related to your Duratma box here. Normally, nationalism, humanitarianism, altruism is very highly regarded in normal society,
right.
especially the you know the freedom fighters are glorified,
there are
right?
statues everywhere. Right, right. This
Yeah,
I have seen it. Right, they are worshipped. They are considered very loyal and yeah, well respected. Right, right. Yes, Prabhu.
yeah. I mean, in any country like India, in US, Washington, George Washington is glorified,
Yes, yes.
etc. But and if you look at how Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he was at that time a Gandhian, right?
Right, right.
So and in fact, there was a conversation related to that. Who will listen to
Yes,
our message?
yes,
We are a slave country,
yes.
and he said, this matter is much beyond,
Beyond. Yes.
uh, so if I mean coming I mean, calling a nationalistic Duratma sounds very weird in normal terms.
So,
Uh,
so that is the beauty of Brahma Gauriya Sampradaya. That is the beauty of teaching of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu,
mhm,
or although we are not there, we are not, or at least I am not pure devotee, but our practice is way high. Krishna Prem Pumartho Mahan. It teaches only pure love for Krishna, nothing else. Nothing else. Okay. So this is a very deeper explanation that our acharyas have taught only to take shelter of pure bhakti. Okay. Nothing else. Everything else is just a distraction. Okay. Anyavilasita sunyam gyan karmadya navritam. Anyavilasita sunyam. Sarapadhi binurmukte tatparotena nirmalam. Sarapadhi binurmukte. All other designation that you have, reject it. All other designation that you have, reject it. So all what is this designation? He said, Swatanta Senani in India, they say, freedom fighter, or this one or that one, These are all at the end of the day material designation. What is the spiritual value of that designation? What is the spiritual value of that designation? What is the spiritual value of being president of a country? Please tell me. Sanutista pumsham Vishwakshena kathashriya nautpadate yadiratim. The sentence that we have to focus. Sir, yes, sir me wahi kevalam. Sir me wahi. Nautpadet yadiratim. Yadiratim. If your endeavor is not going to generate utpadate, create rati, love for Supreme Lord, sharm evahi kevalam. It's just the hard work. So here we saw prajalpaha, prayasaha. This too much endeavor is nothing but just the hard work which has no spiritual value. Another example is given the adding zeros, right? In many classes we'll talk about that who you are. Oh, I have master degree, 1 0. Who you are? I have PhD degree, second 0. What you are? I am a corporate, uh, scientist, third, third 0. Who you are? Everybody in the society is worshiping me, and they uh, they follow me. I'm very well respected. Okay, fourth zero. So all of these zero, 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 zero. But what is the value of all of that? What is the value of all of that?
Zero.
Big
Yes.
zero.
So
Big
1
zero.
0, 2 0, 3 0, 5 0, 10 0, 11 0, 50 0, whatever zeros are. It's all ultimately what is the spiritual value? Prabhu, not only that, if we are also not very conscious of Krishna, then everything else, that we have in our life, might feel like there is some value, but in reality, the real value is how much love you have awakened, how much love you have developed, pure love that you have developed, how much relationship you have developed for Krishna. That's the real worth, right? Otherwise, everything else is temporary. It's like material. It will, as the body is finished, everything else will be finished. Mahatma
Yeah.
Gandhi, finished. Churchill,
Yeah.
finished. Darwin, finished. Newton, Einstein, finished. Gone. Their names are there, but any name is name. What is the value of that name? What is Einstein and what is Einstein and Newton is getting out of what people have? Name is gone. But Prabhupada's contribution is still here. It will stay. Why?
No,
Because
what I would like to contend here, I mean, when we say Tata Shakti, I mean, when we go,
yeah.
yeah, the ocean example was very nice, Prabhuji. So when we go near the ocean, it's wet, and then there is less wet and all those things. So can we say that Tata Shakti is also a gradation of different Atmas? Mahatma also can be graded, like there are Mahatmas like Prahlad Maharaj, and there are some Bhajanandi and some
Oh yeah.
wants to propagate others to all. Some just want to just do their own personal sadhana. Duratma can also be like I mean the devas
Oh
and
yeah.
the asura.
Oh yeah.
So they there is gradation on within that
Oh yeah.
also.
Yoga ladder. Yoga ladder. Yes. Right. Right. Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Bhagavad Gita talks about it. So yes.
I mean
Yes.
a
It's
person,
better.
a
It's
king.
better to have. So if you are asking in that context, I was giving overall value. But if you are
Right.
asking in
Yeah. No,
terms of
that
gradation,
is
for sure, a
right.
person who has high school degree is more educated than somebody who has 8th class degree, right? Somebody who is doctor definitely is more educated. Somebody who is well established in the society and has food and lodging well managed definitely has better life. So for sure there are a gradation to it. Nobody would deny it, right? But at the end of the day, what is the value of that? And Prabhupada very nicely has mentioned in this purport. And next slides when we go through, you will see that some of those we are going to talk. Yes, there are grades. People who are engaged in charity, they are engaged in pious deed, right? They are engaged in pious,
Right.
and if you are engaged in pious deed, then you are going to heavenly planet. But if you are engaged in miscreants type of activity, you are engaged in meat eating and illicit sex, then it's karma khanda, right? But both pious and impious. What Prabhupada writes thousands time, in his purport, he says both pious and impious has result, has reaction. Both pious and impious actions have reactions. If you have impious action, you go to hellish planet. If you have pious action, you go to heavenly planet. But heavenly planet also has life. Hellish planet also has life. And at some point you will be freed away once your reaction is consumed. So yes, those things are definitely there. For sure, those are there. I'm not denying it, and nobody can deny it. But we are going beyond both pious and impious deeds. Satya
But one
Prabhu did. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, yes.
okay, just one quick thing, Prabhuji. So these people who are doing the charity and welfare of the society, even though Yeah, they will be promoted, and they are not. There is no much value, as you are saying, in spiritual way. But at the time, do we call them as duratmas in that context, Prabhuji? That is.
You can call them dharmatma. What's the problem? I mean, there are people who are doing the right thing, but on the spiritual understanding, you can tell them pious people. You can tell them they are definitely not rogues and thieves for sure.
Hmm.
But ultimately, the value of their endeavor is really not too much. I mean, how you call it, how you call it, really, we are seeing here in terms of values. Yeah, they are Duratma because they are not awakening their love for Supreme Lord, They have love for some other, types of, understanding. Oh, you are Indian, so I have to love Indian. Oh, I am, from North, so I love North Indian. I am from South, so South, I love South Indian. These are bodily concepts. These are fairly bodily concepts. I am this, so I like this. I'm this. This is nothing but just the bodily concept. Nothing beyond the body. What is the link of connection? Body. You have the same language, I have the same language, so your devotion I can see and I'm more subservient to you. But somebody else who has different language, doesn't matter how advanced that person is, he's nothing because he's so it's all bodily thing, if you see. So engage in charity. Are we not engaged in charity? Tell me. Are we engaged in charity or not? That's the question. Tell me, Prabhuji. Somebody. Prabhu, you tell me, Sadhujanand Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Are we engaged in charity or not?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes. Food for life, book distribution, going on the, Saturday, every Saturday you go for Harinam. Satyaprabhu was saying that I cannot attend the class because we will be doing something for society, for the community. Shraddha Shabd Vishwas Kahe, Didh Nishchaya, Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarvakara Siddhiyaya. Pouring the water on the root of a tree will nourish the entire tree. The branches, the twigs, the leaves, the fruits, the stem, everything is nourished. So that's what we are talking. That's what is being talked here. That are you going to be, you have one lifespan, human form of body, you have gotten so much education, so much education and opulence Krishna has given you. You don't have problem for anything else. But now are you going to misutilize it? Become a drug addicted? Go and do polygamy, illicit sex, or do you want to control those and go up, right? It's your choice. It's a human being intelligence. So unless and until there is no love, which is ultimate, then what is the value? So they are duratmas, but duratma not in the sense of miscreants and thieves and rogues and killers, but in terms of a spiritual value, they are not really earning much.
One more question can I ask, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. So
So,
Prabhupada has cited here. I just wanted to little bit, Prabhuji, 1 minute. I'll just go through this. It says, Dharmasya hi apargasya na artho pakalpate na arthasya dharma ekantasya kamo labhaya hi asmrita. Translation is that the person who is serious about God conscious should not engage in material activity. Person who are engaged in material activity, they are not engaged in Krishna consciousness. Just very simple line. The same thing, in different ways. So all the duties that we are doing, it should be done to awaken love for Krishna. And that's the artha. That's the occupation one should take. One should not take the occupation that is not awakening love for Krishna. So this is the Bhagavatam verse 129. Sutta Goswami is saying to the sages of Naimisaranya. second chapter, that how one should cultivate their life. So if you look at this, people who are doing charity, or they are engaged in, human cause activity, are they really awakening their love towards Krishna? No. Rupa Goswami does not say that. Rupa Goswami says that there are 64 anga of bhakti, which we are going to study in Nectar of Devotion. He doesn't say that being nationalist or doing charity, doing donations, you know, is what will, yeah, it's good cause. It's good cause. I'm not saying, but these are not the anga of bhakti. Anga of bhakti is Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasam Shakhyam Atma Nivedanam, where he says that do charity. No, Prahlad Maharaj never said these things. So that's the subject we are talking about. Okay, so Satya Prabhuji, what is question? What is your
So
concern?
I'm thinking about the prayasas, over endeavoring. So what is the over? How to quantify the over? I understand I should have enough wealth so I can, I know, do the devotional service. But I mean, but over again, I'm trying to quantify in terms of the scale
Yeah,
where
very
I,
good point. This is very good question you are asking. Very applicable for us. Excellent, question you are asking. How to know if we are not over endeavoring, right? This is very good point. And this is something I think we all should try to answer. What we all understand about over endeavoring. So let's start with Manohar Prabhu. What is over endeavoring, Prabhu? If somebody will ask you that, give me some definition of what is over endeavor, how you would explain that? Everybody will
Uh,
take this. This is good, very practical. Prabhupada has given, in the purport also, but I would like to hear from everybody. Short 2-3 minutes. Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, I mean, I think you mentioned the 1 to 9, right verse. So,
Yes,
if we are endeavoring and that is making us forget Krishna, leading us away, then we would, then in that direction, then that would be, I would regard as over endeavor. However, they say that okay, over endeavor in devotional service is okay, but because that brings us closer to Krishna. So whatever, and then the other verse is, I mean, life's desire should never be directed towards,
yes.
um,
Fulfilling the
uh,
material
yeah,
goal.
it should be directed towards self-preservation. I think one to
Yes,
ten, I guess. So
yes.
in that case, as long as we can keep our body and soul together, and then keep our bhakti intact and firm, and intense, then that is fine. Otherwise, if we are swaying too much in, because we have a material body, we have to maintain it. So we should give the required effort or the minimum effort to maintain it, but not make too much endeavor to
Yes,
just to maintain
simple
it.
living, high thinking, Prabhupada has
Yeah.
mentioned in the in the purport. Right now in the society, nobody is endeavoring for it, but one should endeavor for simple living and high thinking. Yes, this is very good point. Okay, what else? What others opinion we have? How we know that if we are over endeavoring or not?
Prabhuji, from my perspective, like if we are if the our endeavor regarding either the job or any other activities, that is I think Prabhuji has already covered the same way. So but if it is that is affecting our devotional service, for example, if you take the chanting, so we have to do the prescribed round of chanting, we have to finish every day, and as well as Mangal Harati, doing the Mangal Harati, and whatever the study you are doing. So if those activities or daily activities are affected by your other endeavors, then that may be considered as war endeavor. So regarding either job perspective or any other external activities that you are engaged in.
Hmm. Yes. So you gave a very good measure. Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yes. Prabhupada in the purport writes, Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa. Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa. The soul should have inquiry about what is a real Tattva, you know, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one should endeavor in that line. I just wanted to. So yes, what else? What other opinions we have? No, that's a good point. Both of you made a good point. What else we have? What is over endeavor? Brinda Sundari Devidasi Mataji, what is over endeavor in your understanding?
If it deviates me from practicing devotional service like chanting.
Hmm.
Simple.
Yes. If it's deviating me from my devotional services. Yes. Yes. Okay. What else? What do you have,
Hare
Kalavati
Krishna
Radha
Prabhu.
Mataji? Yes. What is your understanding?
I don't know this is right or not. As devotees, like we have to be like happy always. But if we are like getting like frustrated very easily, then that means like we are over endeavoring in like some or other area of life.
Yeah, frustration may be because of the personality also. But yes, if our action is our engagement is causing frustration, then might be it's over endeavor we are putting. But there are certain personality who normally gets nervous also or short temper type of thing. But yes, yes, along that I know your intent is right. So yes, that's correct. What else? Thank you, Mataji, Soumya Mataji. What else? Anybody has anything else to talk about? How to know? His question was how we know that we are not doing over endeavor. Let's hear from him. What is your understanding, Prabhu? Satya Prabhu?
My thought, probably I'm confused here, so that's the reason I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get it. Yeah, so I I I I I see that Prabhupada saying that all wealth belongs to Krishna and
Yes,
every entity has a right to use Krishna wealth for his maintenance.
yes.
So I mean, based on this, and the purport Prabhupada has described about this. So for whatever is needed to maintain myself, that would be enough. Anything else, if I get it again, then it's kind of over endeavoring for me. Uh, yeah.
Right, right. So, Prabhu, uh, let's hear. That's good. I just wanted to start, giving my understanding, but I thought that it's better to hear from others. So, Bina Mataji, Kalavati Radhika Mataji, who else? Santa Mataji, what is your understanding about over endeavor? What is over endeavor? Prabhu wants to know how he would know that if he is making over endeavor or not.
Maybe whatever is required, if we are doing anything other than extra in the material activities, maybe that is over entering, Prabhu.
Right, right,
Say,
right.
for example, in office, say we are doing our work, but if we are doing extra work to get the promotion or maybe to get any other things, that may.
Yes, 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 you're right. Okay, let's hear from others. Thank you, Mataji. What is over endeavor?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
So in my understanding, there is no over endeavor in the spiritual practices, but in the material side of the world, if we are doing more than what is necessary to maintain our body, for example, the work or cooking, for example. So if we are just cooking for to satisfy our tongue, there is no end to it. We will just keep on going, and similarly at work, if we want to just maintain just get our salary and do our work, that is fine. But if we want to go beyond what is assigned to us to impress somebody, like boss and everybody, so that is over endeavor, which takes away your time from your other household duties.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree with that. Bimala Mataji, what is your understanding on this?
Anything we are not using for Krishna's services, over-entering.
Yes, very simple answer and very profound answer. Yes, anything that is not offered is not done for Krishna is over and ever. Yes. So I think that's the answer. Most of you exactly touch upon the point and gave the very correct answer. All these answers were correct. So I don't think there is anything remaining for me to add here. But I can give some example. Since all of us are, employee and we are also practitioner. So Santa Mataji said it right that, and all of you said right, but I'm just, taking 1 or 2 points from all of you that all of what you have shared. So you have a job. Now you can take job as a means to make some money so that your family needs are maintained and done. Like for example, uh, you have sons and daughter. They have to go to school. There will be a school fee to be paid. They need clothing. They need food and all of that. I came to Krishna consciousness when I was married. So I cannot be brahmachari now. Doesn't matter how I have, learned the science of Krishna consciousness, but I have to still keep the practical side of it. But while keeping the practical side of it, you always understand what are the limits. If I am crossing the limit or if I am within the limit. So I know devotees who are compromising their spiritual life for their material success. They want to get promoted, they want to be director, they want to be VP. And you know that once you become those things, then it's going to require a lot and lot and lot and lot of timing, lot of consumption, lot of thinking, lot of things to be managed. You'll be fully consumed. Get up in the morning and you'll be thinking what are the emails I have to write, what are the things I have to do, you know, all of that. Current responsibility that I have, I'm very happy. You know why? Because I'm thinking always about Krishna. I always go and fall down and say, my dear Lord, you have given me very good opportunity that I'm thinking about it, how to do this, how to do that, how to make the only about Krishna, Krishna conscious activities. On the other hand, you can think about I have to talk to this person, work related stuff, right? So your mind may be occupied for something that is spiritual or something that is material. Okay, if your occupancy is too much material and not much spiritual, then you should know that you are over endeavoring, and it could be anywhere at any state at any point, anything that you are doing. Satatam asmartavya Vishnu vismartavya na jatushut. Shastra has given a rule of thumb that one should always be in the remembrance of Krishna. Okay, that's the milestone. But if that is being compromised, that means we are definitely, putting our energy somewhere else, our intelligence somewhere else. I'm not saying that you should tomorrow start correcting it, but I'm just telling the milestone, okay, how it should be. And what is the critical tips? The critical tips is that we as a human being have both side of it. Right now, as a sadhaka, we have devotional side and we have material side. Nobody can deny, okay? Nobody can deny. I can't deny or somebody else should not deny. We have both the spiritual side and we have material side. But one should not really worry too much about the defects that one has. I have defect, you have defect, somebody else has defect, but don't get fully consumed with the defects that you have. Rather, trying to use the time to do more devotional thing, you know. So going to Mangala Arati, hearing from Bhagavatam classes from devotee, chanting our rounds very seriously, hearing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you know. So we should try to engage more into a spiritual activity. Okay, knowing that I have some defects, introspection, right, will go in parallel. But if you are more engaged in a spiritual activity, or you try to engage more in a spiritual activity, like taking DT worship, anything that you can do more, find the way to, you know, do more spiritual activity. When we request devotee, please do devotional service, we are in fact helping somebody. We are helping somebody to become advanced devotee, because you are more engaged in Krishna consciousness, you advance more. And then slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, this understanding will come and it will become natural. Okay, don't force. Okay, don't force yourself to not be what you are not. Okay, for material side, don't force too much, but for sure put your best to engage more in a spiritual activity with the intent that I'm engaging to purify my consciousness, to transform myself. With that intent, slowly and slowly you will see that Krishna will help you understand where you are and what things are in your environment and how to adjust with it. Because sometimes immaturely, when people don't manage it, they crack, they fall down, they lose interest. Okay, so my intent is not to tell you to be too emotional about these things, rather be very practical. Yes, I have problem, you know, I'm taking the medicine. Let's focus on the medicine, take more and more of the medicine in a regulated manner, on timely way, you know, as per the course. Keep on taking. One day will become cure, and once you'll become cure, then you would know what is over endeavor, what is under endeavor, what I should do, what I should not do. So that has to be spontaneous. You know, in the terms of bhakti, it's called raganuga bhakti. Okay, so I'm giving you now technical term. Bhakti has a stage. Okay, so sadhana bhakti has Badhi bhakti and raganuga bhakti. Badhi bhakti is done under vidhi, methods, following what is to be done, what is not to be done. Okay, so what we are doing right now is basically learning about the Badhi bhakti. It says what you should avoid and what you should adopt. Okay, so anything that is right now asked and expected from us to avoid, we should make our endeavor to avoid it and let it flourish, let it promote. At some point, you will see that the love for Krishna is becoming natural. Okay, and until then, we have to keep on making endeavor.
Ayush, are you ready?
Okay, did it make sense or not, Manohar Prabhu?
Yes,
we
Prabhu.
have we have to be very very practical. Very practical
Yeah.
in Krishna consciousness, very practical in Krishna
Mhm.
consciousness. Don't let your family life go hither and thither. Lord, not let your sons and daughters start hating you. No, be very matured, but at the same time, and I can give you a perfect example Prabhupada gave. Prabhupada said that when a woman is in the love of some other man, she loves her husband very nicely. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, Prabhupada gives an example.
Eh?
Yes, Parakiya
Exactly.
Bhav.
So we are in love with Krishna in the material world, right?
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
are in the material world, the world where everything is illusory, but we are in love with Krishna, who is spiritual. So we have to know how to manage this material energy, and Krishna will give that intelligence, my devotees. I can tell you. If you have a pure, sincere desire, Krishna is always with you. He never leaves his devotee. He will tell you how to navigate. Okay, but don't become a a premature, immature devotee. Don't do that. Don't do that. The most important thing is that you have to retain the opportunity to chant name of Krishna sincerely. Read Prabhupada's book, associate with devotee. Those you have to retain. And for that, if there is some compromise you have to do, be ready to do that. Okay. And this over endeavor or under endeavor at due course of time, depending on how much attachment you have for Krishna, it will be clear to you. I can give you some quantitative understanding, but I don't think that this is the time to do that. I think that this time we should focus more on anga bhakti. We are in love with Supreme Lord, but we are resident of the material world. So we have to find a way to love Supreme Lord, but not let this our husband, material energy, to be upset at us, because she has a lot of power. Maya is very, very powerful. Okay, and she can crush us, right, Prabhu? Manor Prabhu, you agree with me?
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah, definitely.
So in a
I
very
was remembering, yeah,
yes, please go ahead.
9:27 Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah,
Yat karoshi yadashnashi yad
yadasnati,
juhosi
yadadasi,
dadasi yat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kush
tatkuru madarpan.
madarpan.
Yes,
So as
yes,
long as we are endeavoring with keeping Krishna in our minds, it's not over endeavor. We can
right.
be working very hard. Maybe we may not be sleeping for a couple of nights, maybe and certain times. But if our focus is serving Krishna, that's fine. I
Yes,
mean, because we have dedicated that activity to Krishna, I mean, or Guru or something, um, for some devotee's service. So it is fine in that case.
our
But
acharyas are examples of it.
yeah,
Go ahead, Prabhu, you were still talking. Sorry, yeah.
no,
Go ahead.
no, yeah, go ahead.
Like Bhaktivinoda
Prabhupadaji's
Thakur is a
example
perfect
is
example.
right.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur was magistrate, and we read his pastime, and what he says, he was so expert in doing his material activity, and still he was author, you know, and uh, powerful devotee. He was doing everything, right? All rounder. So devotee has to be all rounder also. Keep your focus on Krishna and slowly, but don't completely reject the material world. Don't try to, we use the word pure devotee syndrome, PDS. You know, Unnecessarily you develop the syndrome of becoming a pure devotee, but your heart is not pure. You have not really, earned the pure love for Krishna. Then at some point it will crack, and then you will go away, and then you will be more hunger for the material enjoyment. So let, you know, your love for Krishna becomes natural. Lets bhakti become natural. That's what I always tell. Let bhakti become natural. That's what I practice. That's what I let other people tell. Whatever I'm doing, my capacity might be a little bit more, but it's not that I'm doing to show off. Somebody may say that Ramacharya is doing to show off. Let that person say. But I know, Asmaram, what is that thing? Saranam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam. Okay. So Saranam is engaging in the bhakti process, and Mananam, introspection, is very important. So that's how it should be. Make whatever you are doing, make it very natural, but always try to love Krishna. In process of making something natural, we don't want to go away from Krishna consciousness. So that good, balance. It's called samanvaya. Samanvaya is very important element that we'll talk later. So samanvaya has to be there. Good balance. Satyaprabhu, did we talk too much, or is it helping you understand something?
No, it got clarified probably now. Thank you.
But very good point. That's why I'm not in rush with these verses. It's very important to understand what is the practical application of these different elements, so that we can see the value of that in our life. And then next we are going to just understand the key highlights which are given in the purport. So 2 slides, 3 slides I have, and then we'll get into the next verse. So I'm hoping that next class I can finish these slides, and then we'll get into next verse. Some of the discussion that we had, that's what we are going to see also, by the way. Whatever we talked, very much more or less is mentioned here. With that, I would like to pause here. We went up. Okay, thank you. So we are good today. I think it's 12:22. Normally we go for 1.5 hours, right? Very common. Thank you. So we'll adjourn here. Is it okay? Manohar Prabhu,
Yes,
you can do Vaishnava
yes,
Pranams.
yeah. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां
Patitranam
पावनेभ्यो
Pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वंश की जय
Vaishnavi
श्री
ki jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय श्री
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Dandavat
you.
Haribo.